Let me ask a little bit about your philanthropic work. You, of course, you get a lot of attention for what you call patriotic philanthropy, which I think you've said is really about 10%
Right.
of what you do. And that includes the purchase of the Magna Carta, a copy of the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, some of the key documents
Right.
in the history of this country. There was some conversation with Hannah Gray last night in the panel that you ran with no notes. And she talked about visiting you, I think, 4 or 5 times before she got you to yes. And yet, I believe that the Magna Carta, you heard it was going up for auction, you bought it the next day. And I think you've moved pretty quickly on some of your others. So is there a different viewpoint when you're investing in something like a university building as compared to an article of historical importance?
It's rarely the case where a university president and or development person will come to you and say, can you give us a large sum of money? And the person will say yes right away. Because if you do, they will realize they didn't ask for enough money. They should ask for more. So on the building, Bob Zimmer did come to me a couple times and talked about it, and I wasn't sure I wanted to do it. I was more deeply involved in a couple of universities at the time. But ultimately, I concluded it was a good idea, and so I said, okay, I would support it. You know, it takes a little time to think about it. On the Magna Carta, sometimes in life you think about things and you think about them so much that you overthink them, and sometimes you make the wrong decision. Sometimes I've overthought things and I missed opportunities. I overthought investing in Facebook and I thought it wasn't going anywhere, so I didn't do that. I overthought investing in Amazon and I didn't make that mistake. I made a mistake in not investing in it. So in this particular case, I just happened to go to view the Magna Carta, and the curator told me at Sotheby's it was going to be sold the next night. And I wasn't a buyer then of the historic documents, but she indicated, maybe a very clever salesperson, by the way, it's going to leave this country. There's 17 extant copies. This is the only one in private hands, and it's the only one in the United States, the only one that will ever be in the United States. And of course, it was the inspiration for Declaration of Independence. So maybe a very effective sales pitch. So I said, okay, I'm going to make sure I buy it and to keep it in the United States. So I did, and I won the auction, and now it's in the National Archives. So I did it quickly.
And